pouring in. So we shall now go on to our next speaker, Dr. Dharmesh from Kar Eye Hospital, who is going to be telling us something very, very important and which has a business value, how to integrate opticals in an eye hospital. So on to you, Dr.
So good evening, Chaitra ma'am and ARC team for giving me this opportunity. Now this is becoming one of the important part, like optical shop in all the eye hospital, being a private practice or you are in an institute. So I'll be talking on this and
yeah, you need to move to your next slide.
just a minute, it's not moving.
Yes, it is. Yes, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So my financial disclosure is none, and it's always a question that should I start the optical shop or not. So the answer is definitely yes. You are being newcomer or you are being there in the many years in the practice. It's years is always a good add value to our practice. And what if I already have an optical store in my there? Then how to increase the revenue or footfall? That's always a business model, and it's add to our business and revenue. So it's definitely a good. So we discuss both the points in the talk. Now, how to start about it? So how to start any optical shop for any business model or anything? We decide about the space, location, outsourcing partner, training the staff, patient feedback, and analysis. So we discuss in these points about the benefit of starting the optical store. Is it's always like a in-house services. So we get some benefit to all the patients who are coming to our hospital. It's a convenience to the patients who are coming from far. They can have all the things available in one go under one roof. You can get a professional guidance by meeting patient. Consultant notes that he knows a bifocal, he needs progressive, which kind of glasses they need as per the profession, and we can always offer a wide range of glasses and contact lenses under one roof in the same optical shop. Now for the first point, the space. So for the minimum space required is 80 to 100 square feet for the private practitioner in metro cities where it's a small places. For a bigger setup, we can have a dedicated shop or a room which should be on the ground floor and have a good visibility. The location, so it's always easily visible and accessible. We have many old age patients, so we cannot have the optical shop in the loft or somewhere corner, or which is difficult for any patient of going and reaching there. So it's in the private practice, we usually can have near the entrance or the exit where patients are going after consultation, or they can see when as soon as they come to the hospital. A small corner with an attractive display and a big poster can be put up. In a bigger setup, can we have a shop on the ground floor or a dedicated room provided where all the things are there. Now outsourcing, it's definitely a yes, because the glass making, keeping a one person who is giving the buying a frame and making glasses, giving, dispatching, all is a very difficult task by alone, and you are always dependent on as one single person. So it's always a good to be outsourced. Now what is there? There are either corporate chains like Titan, Ben Franklin, Specsmaker, or you can have a type with the local opticians who are doing a good, and they can come and attach to your clinic and they manage the show very well. Now, as a business model, any business model like this, one of the part of business of eye hospital can be add to our revenue generation. So it's the commitment, how we give it to the commitment, like you are doing a MOU with any corporate chain. So we have to be very careful, like how we give with equipment or IOL commitment, how much patient comes, all the patient won't go to the optical or purchase from them. So we have to commit in a very sensible way, like few patient will not buy, they have their own opticals from many years. So we commit with very reservation, or it can be an open thing. Then we always discuss about the patient satisfaction. Like patient satisfaction has to be there. If they buy from our own optical shop, they are very keen there. We are more responsible. They make expensive glasses, especially progressive glasses they make, and if they are unhappy, they spend lots of money and they come back to the hospital for just complaining about the opticals. Now profit sharing is always there. It's either the total cost what we have, from between 30 to 40% of the total cost can be shared with the hospital practices. Accounting can be part of the hospital team, either doctor himself or someone from the family can be taken care of the accounting and the in charge of the optical shop. Revenue generation, it's some of the very key pillar for revenue generation. Like if we just take all the subspecialties and all, especially like pediatric ophthalmologists where many kids require glasses, then definitely it helps and gives the revenue generation and lots of good return in this. A replacement and repairing of glasses, which patient has purchased the glasses from our optical shop, then our optical person or our hospital should be responsible for it. Now, training the staff is important because all the staff should be aware about the facilities which is available in our own optical shop. Many times patient ask to the our other staffs when they are waiting in the area, they are getting dilated and they are aware about things, what are the things available, or the patient relatives who have come, they might be just interested in taking the glasses or having the glass number, or need to teach them to direct all the patient to the optical or pharmacy after the consultation, that we can discuss in detail how we go. Now, what the tricks we can use to increase the footfall in the optical shop, if you have only optical shop in the hospitals? We can keep our auto refractometer, lensometer near or inside the optical store where patient actually go there, do the test, and they visible and they come to know what the things are there. We can provide the glass prescription printout. If you have EMR, it is the best thing, or to collect the glass prescription from the optical counter. We can have a bigger, better, and impressive display of the glasses there, and can be an attractive poster around the optical stores. Now, patient feedback is always very important because we can help us to improve and change the SOPs. So they should not feel like, we are just making a business or being forcing them, but it can be projected as the convenience for the patient and all the facilities under one roof they are getting, including the glasses. And for the outpatient department, they can courier it or send it by their address by parcel, and they are very happy for that because they no need to roam around, especially the old age patients. Now, analysis is just example, like for total patient visiting OPD per 100 patient, how many are going to the optical shop, or from the optical shop, how many percentage of people like buying bifocal, progressive, or pediatric contact lens, or they are just buying normal glasses, and they always help us to analyze what patients' behavior are. So thank you very much, ma'am, for the time.
That was again a very nice summary, and you really stuck to time, and that was good, Dr. Dharmesh, because going forward, I would want a word from Dr. Purendra Bhasin and Anagha and Gaurav. Like, how would you differentiate your own opticals from a regular optical shop? Question number one. And the second question is, what is the impact of chains like Lenskart and these online portals to one's own optical shop? And how do you deal with the challenge of tracking the performance of an optical setup and keeping track of the inventories? So, Dr. Purendra Bhasin is there?
I think, ma'am, he has left. I think he sent a message.
Oh.
He had to leave. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Gaurav is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in fact, ma'am, 20 years back, when I joined practice, I also joined a family-owned practice. It was looked down upon to have an optical shop, and it was thought below your dignity to have an optical counter. And for many years, we continued to think like that. And it was only when we changed premises and we were into a new premises, then we decided that, since a lot of patients did expect the hospital to have a optical counter, and we optical counter as well, and we outsourced it to one of the, we outsourced it to like Ben Franklin, amongst like what Dr. Dharmesh spoke about. So it's been a good experience. I think patients are actually quite happy as long as you are not pushing patients to your optical counter. I've seen at some places, many places, in fact, that, the prescription printout will only come out at the optical counter. So I don't think patients really appreciate that, because it kind of seems to push them to the counter. So, I think good services and, good range of things, and making it visible, making it, easily accessible, and each patient should be able to pass through, like many new hospitals, they make it in such a way that once the patient is like entering in or leaving the hospital, they would have to walk through the, area of where the opticals and the pharmacy is. So that tends to bring in the patients there. And if you have displayed well, that's one part. The second part, I think, is that it's very important for satisfaction. So a good range of, products available, and, good counselors, and, kind of making sure that the patients are satisfied. And in case there's a problem, then, free replacements, or, kind of troubleshooting, all that builds the confidence of the patient. So I think definitely opticals have a good place. They bring in fair amount of revenue as well. And definitely today, when things are becoming very tight for private practices because reimbursement rates are going down, the government is tightening its, fixing rates for almost everything. And from just about 10 to 20% of your practice being a credit practice, now it's almost 60-70% of low cost practice, which you're forced to do. I think additional revenue from the opticals helps the hospital to improve services, invest more in technology, should be definitely looked at and should be propagated.
As far as how do you keep track of the inventory of frames and lenses? Dr. Tityal, maybe, would you like to say, or Anaga wants to say? Yes.
No, sir, first, sir.
Yes. So this is an area where there could be a lot of pilferage and lot of things can go wrong. So how do you go about auditing the frames which are there in your setup? Frames and
let me answer from my point of view, because as far as we are concerned, since the inception of RP Center as a separate center in an institution, and that time only, Professor LP Agarwal created, NPCB, NSPB, National Society of Prevention of Blindness, and through that he created another separate counter for opticals in RP Center, which is a standalone system in a government sector. And since I joined the RP Center, I saw that area, and they had all sets of inventory there, including the grinding and manufacturing of lenses, so that our optom students, now we call honors degree. Initially, we used to give a BSc degree in ophthalmic techniques. They were given a training to that area also. So we had an in-house, grinding and manufacturing of lenses of spectacle as well for contact lenses also. So that should be a part and parcel of our teaching institutions where they have an optometry attached to them. And now in last few years, we have modified the entire area to have all newer things also. All types of lenses of qualities and frames have been there. And we are also providing the free of cost frames and lenses through other channels also. The government sector has a special pressure to provide the low cost free spectacles and frames also. So there also, because we do have a lot of people coming with a bigger requirements, like you have a progressive lenses, they are also being provided. So opticals has to be a part of our practice nowadays. You can't separate them. Government sector, private sector, it has to be a comprehensive practice of our entire area.
Yes, Anaga?
Yeah, ma'am, just a few issues I thought we need to also add in regarding your question as to looking at the inventory. Once you are outsourcing it to somebody, then usually that headache is reduced. So your revenue will be less, no doubt, but at least that headache is not there. If you were to do it on your own, then you need to take up that headache also, and then probably you will get a bigger margin, but that price you have to pay. Now, there are a few issues, like when you have an optical of your, like if you have outsourced it in your own clinic, then most of the opticals around in the neighborhood would have some kind of resistance, and they would not like to send their patients to us, like, for cataract or for whatever reason. Not only that, they would also probably demotivate those patients if they feel that you are more of a competitor for them because you are now into their arena. So managing the other opticals is become sometimes a little difficult. So you need to balance out. Not only that, sometimes if you have probably from your side the wrong prescription or whatever, then they take it as a point and then they keep telling the patient that, they can highlight it. But one advantage that you have of your own optical is if there has been a problem in the making of the glass, then you can easily talk to your people and then get it corrected. So then the patients don't have to really have that botheration.
Actually, what we do in our practice is we ensure that every patient is first asked where they have come from, and if they have come with an optical referral, no way can that patient get glasses from your optical shop. And definitely that optician has to be contacted and thanked profusely, and ensure that the patient is taken care for just other things and not the optical. I do believe that going forward, it makes sense for all of us to have our own optical setup and de-link it, because there is a definite solid income if you keep your best practice patterns about it. The only thing is we need to have, as time goes on, you all are all young in this practice, you all should adopt a software called ERP software, wherein what it would do is it would barcode all the things which you have in your optical outlet. So every small thing which is in this incorporated in the software, what you're buying, what is there, what is purchased, what is the lens being bought, where is your supplier, and all the details would come to you. And you should be doing an internal random audit at least once in 2 weeks, and you should do a proper audit once in 2 months. And that too, if you have more centers, it becomes very, very important that you do a thorough evaluation and ensure you have a very good team of optometrists and who are really, really ethical about referring these patients to your own optical. And Gaurav, you could still send your prescription to your optical outlet, and you could ensure that every patient collects, as long as you clearly ensure that the patient wants to get from outside, he is not delayed in that optical outlet to collect his prescription. But it is just like we have conferences, we make all our delegates go through the trade area. So allowing them an exposure of your wonderful services there too would definitely stop them. And I think you should make the best of your optical outlet too in an ethical manner. Thank you.